Introducing Servitor, an automation app for gamers, removing the mundane, work-like tasks in modern games. Use Servitor to skip ads in whatever you're listening to, search for items or quest locations, or run automations to equip or purchase gear, all while focusing on your game, staying alive, and thriving. Servitor is your personal gaming assistant, allowing you to get the most out of the time you have to game. Here on the custom events page, we have macros to toggle voice chat with the AI agent, skip ads in Spotify, equip gear, and launch Arc Raiders. I just hit the custom event to trigger the Arc Raiders macro. This macro enables all custom events tagged Arc Raiders and launches the Arc Raiders game. Now that we are in game, let's equip a kit. The kit macro does an image search to find empty equipment slots and look for the gear to equip. This macro was made manually in the app and triggered in-game using a keybind, in this case F3. Custom macros can be made for all sorts of games, and I'll show you how at the end of this video. Now let's jump into the Quest tab and see what we have to do. Looks like we have to find a flow controller, so let's queue up and jump in game. I loaded into the map, looking for flow controllers. I didn't know where to find them, so I triggered the AI voice chat and asked the agent to Google search for me. The Google results on my second monitor shown below. Looks like I need to head to a medical facility, so I started heading to the hospital. On my way to the hospital, ads popped up on my Spotify, so I triggered the macro to skip ads while staying in game. This macro saved me from having to alt-tab, navigate to Spotify, skip ahead, and then go back to the game. Jumping back into the Servitor app, I can see all my custom events. Anything image or AI related requires a subscription. We currently offer a 7-day free trial, and the cost is $3 a month. My goal is to make this app worth hundreds or hopefully thousands of times more than the subscription cost and offer useful functionality at the free tier. Let's take a look at a custom event. Custom events have a title, the event, and a trigger. In this case, the F4 key, which is set on the right, triggers the launch arc macro. This custom event doesn't have any tags. Tags are useful to bulk enable or disable custom events, either by macro or AI agent. This next custom event toggles the AI voice chat, which I was able to use to interact with the AI agent while in game. The AI voice chat allows you to enable and disable custom events on the fly without having to take your focus away from the game. You can also execute Google searches as shown earlier in the video. We also have the custom event, which skipped ads, and the custom event to equip the character's kit. Now let's go to the macro page and show how these macros are created. Here we are on the macros page. You can add a macro, edit, or delete. This is a list of all the macros that we went through earlier. Let's look at the loadout arc macros. This has a list of sub macros. Each of these are executed in order when this loadout arc macro is executed. We have the looter pack, light shield, ammo, gun, meds, shield charges, and grenades. So we can add another one if we wanted. We could also just add another grenade macro. That's how you sort of interact with this. Let's take a look at the grenade macro specifically. So each of these are a hover image command, macro image command. And so what that does is give it an image file, so you can use a file picker or type. And so this looks for this image in the scene, and then if it finds it, it hovers it and clicks. And so these are sort of wrapped. So you have like the end hover image. So imagine that everything inside of that top hover image and bottom is executed if that image is found. So if it finds this empty quick use, it'll hover over it. Then the next command, that mouse command, clicks it. Then it'll look for the grenade image, and if it finds that, it'll click it. And so the end result is that you have in an empty quick use slot, it'll add a grenade. You can also change the image or position, either a random position or set the X and Y coordinates relative to where the hover is so you can move the mouse or add a click. So now let's take a look at the voice toggle macro. And so this is a step macro. What that means, when that switch is flipped at top, what that means is that when you click this macro or run this macro, it'll do the first command, and then it will not do the second command until you click it again. So if you have 10 commands, every time you execute this macro, it'll go one at a time. So it'll go the first one, first command, second time, second command, etc. When you start recording, it'll listen to what you're saying, and then when you stop, it'll send it to the AI agent in text form, and you'll get a response. So this is a nice way to communicate with the AI agent. So now let's look at the skip Spotify 60 macro command. The top command there, we have a focus window command with the title Spotify. Then we have shift down. We have a loop command with the number 12 set. Arrow 0.1 millisecond delay or 0.1 second delay. So that loop there is set to 12 times. We type 12 in that text box. Everything inside that loop is executed that many times. Then we release the shift key, and then the bottom command there will focus back to whatever you are on. So if you're playing a game, then you want to skip Spotify, this macro will go to the Spotify window, execute all this, and then go back to your game. And so in that loop, we have the arrow down and then arrow release, and then a 100 millisecond delay. And so in Spotify, what happens with that is it'll move ahead the whatever you're listening to by 10 seconds. So if an ad's playing and you do that 12 times, it'll skip a little over a minute past that ad, and then you can get back to your game and skip any ads without having to actually leave the game window yourself. Here we are on the AI tab. Here you can interact with the AI agent and have it execute macros or change the configuration for you. The purpose of the AI agent is to help you get things done, improve the functionality of the Servitor app while you're in-game or in the middle of a task. So to keep you focused on your game, not having to tab out, and get things done. So in order to use the AI agent, you need to be logged in and you'd have an active subscription. Right now we're offering a 7-day free trial and $3 a month after that. And once you log in, it'll also start downloading the model. Once that's complete, everything will be available below. You can also dismiss this warning. There are 3 ways to interact with the agent. You can type directly, you can click the microphone button, or you can execute a macro to start talking to the agent and end your recording, and then have it send that message to the agent. You can select which is your default microphone if you have multiple devices, and you can enable or disable the microphone whenever you like. And there are also suggested actions, and so if you click one of these buttons, it'll send this message to the agent. You can run macros, you can disable or enable custom events, list custom events, and also Googling information, all while in game. So right now we try to execute this looter loadout macro. We don't have a macro with that name, so the agent will just say, can't do anything with that. And then you can also enable or disable all custom events tagged arc raiders. So right now we don't have any, so this should return that it can't do that, or it'll return that there are 0 custom events because we don't have any tagged arc raiders. And then lastly, if I click this button, it'll find a open browser that has the Google page up, and it'll search for this message in quotes here, which is where to find epic weapons and arc raiders. So if I wanted to Google for something else, I could just type Google, and then it doesn't have to be in quotes. The agent is smart enough to know, but it will look for whatever I'm looking for. And so I can have my Google tab in, say, my left monitor and my game in my right monitor, and I can execute a macro to record my voice and ask for the agent to Google things real time if I'm looking for something, or execute macros, enable, disable custom events. And so that might mean turning on my arc raiders macros if I'm playing, or maybe disabling a macro that I don't want to have a keybind for anymore. So all while you're still focused in game, not having to tab out. And so for instance, if I'm listening to something also while I'm playing and ads pop up, I can ask the agent in real time to run the macro to skip ads, or I can just run that keybind myself. So Servtor app is just a way we're trying to optimize your gameplay, get more out of it, out of your game, reduce the mundane tasks, and be more efficient. Please join our Discord and link below. The app is still in alpha, and we're trying to give out as many free test keys as possible so you can use all these features without having to have an account. Give us feedback and see what features you'd like, dislike, and what we can add to really make this a valuable application. Thank you for your interest in the Servitor app and for listening. All productive comments are welcome. Catch you in the next one.